What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And, it always fascinates me when there's an interview with, a pretty high level person, especially with these, mainstream news outlets. It really does make me wonder. I mean, it's not like it's any media news outlet. And they have wide audiences and recognition. And, a lot of people do take on those interviews. But nevertheless, I just find it very intriguing. But Elon Musk says nothing special here at all. And I think that it was, at least in my opinion, because I have worked in supply chain. And, the money did have something to do with the inflation. But what really was the kicker was the supply chain breakdown. And in my opinion, I do believe that it was the scarcity of goods, right? That and the breakdown in which there wasn't enough supply to feed all that demand. And so this is why I say, yeah, the money had something to do with it, but the majority of it is, well, if you have all this demand but you don't have enough supply, well, your prices are really going to increase. And in this interview, I just want you to pay attention to what he says. It's nothing special, but still, coming from him, it's very interesting to watch.
So, inflation is going to happen no matter what. If you increase the money supply, you get inflation.
Right.
So, there's not some magical cure for getting rid of inflation, except to increase the productivity, the output of goods and services. So, if you say like what is money? You've got these sort of it's basically numbers in a database that sum up to some total. Then you've got the output of goods and services of the economy, and as long as the ratio of money to ratio of goods and services stays, if that stays constant, you have no inflation. If you add more money, if you add money to the system faster than you increase goods and services,
right,
then you have inflation. So all of these COVID sort of stimulus bills were not paid for. They were just generated more currency, more more money was created because the federal government, the checks always pass, unless you hit a debt limit, which there's probably going to be some debt limit crisis later this year. But provided you haven't hit the debt limit, the federal government, unlike state governments or city governments or individuals, can simply issue more money, and that's what they did. I mean, as the old saying goes, that there's no free lunch. So if you could just issue massive amounts of money without negative consequences, why don't we just take that to the limit, make everyone a trillionaire? They tried that in Venezuela. How'd that work out?
Well, they had to eat zoo animals.
Right, it's not good, There's no free lunch. There's not some ability to issue money and not have inflation.
Many of those candidates.
So I find that very, very interesting. Just given the fact that it's coming from him. And if you pay attention, there's a lot of differing opinions, but they're really putting out this idea, right? Oh, money printer go burr, money printer go burr. But it's almost like feeding it to you so you can like just accept it, that if you keep doing it, you're going to keep getting inflation. You're just going to be okay with it. Anyways, I just thought it was really interesting, but they're not really telling you the heart of the issue. But we know that, hey, you're just devaluing your currency at the end of the day. I mean, paper money it's never, lasted. It's always failed. So, anyways, here's another interesting thing. Home buyers with credit scores of 680 or higher will pay $40 a month more on a home loan of $400,000. But buyers with down payments of 15 to 20% will get socked with the largest fees. Buyers with riskier credit ratings and lower down payments will get lower rates and fees. So the Biden administration wants to hike payments for good credit home buyers to subsidize high-risk mortgages. Boy. I mean, it's just a disaster. And you read stuff and you're like, what? Like, what are they? Who's running these policies? But folks, I mean, it's a rotting that's happening from within, and that's usually what brings down empires. It's the rotting from within, and these people, they're trying to destroy the values of America, the constitutional republic. There's no regard for law and order. It's just chaos. And I think that when morality starts to go away, and I mean, you look at what's happening in Chicago. Horrendous. The youth are just possessed by what they watch, what they intake, and it's leading to just anarchy, lawlessness. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. It's the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.